Hey everybody, welcome back to Walks in Wall Street. And on today's walking tour, we're going to be exploring the Upper East Side of Manhattan. We're currently located right outside Grand Army Plaza, the Plaza Hotel, Central Park South, and the beautiful Sherry Netherland Hotel. So let's go ahead and make a left. We will cross to the easternmost side of Fifth Avenue, and we will get started. (781) Fifth Avenue is the Sherry Netherland Hotel. If you ever read the book Reminiscences of a Stock Operator, Jesse Livermore would spend ample amounts of time at the Sherry Netherland. Right on the corner of 5th and 59th, you have the General Motors building, or the GM building, as well as the flagship Apple store on 5th Avenue. What we're looking at right now is 53 West 53rd Street, as well as the Amman, New York Hotel and Residences. You have one of the flagship Dior stores. We'll take a quick walk around the plaza here. And this view is overlooking the Plaza Hotel, the Deutsche Bank Centers, and 1 Central Park West. This is the main flagship Apple store that goes underground. And right in between the GM building, you can see 432 Park Avenue, which was developed by Harry Macklow. It's one of the most luxurious apartment buildings anywhere in New York City. And make a left here on 58th Street and walk over to Madison Avenue. between Madison Avenue and 5th Avenue on 58th Street, you'll find Liberty Bagels. This is one of the best bagel spots around. It's pretty much always packed. I would highly recommend it. And you also have pretty good views looking down 58th Street to all the Billionaires Row buildings, such as the Steinway Tower, 157, and Central Park Tower. Turn the camera towards the sky. The building that's centered on our screen is the Four Seasons Hotel on 57th Street, Billionaires Row. Now, it's been closed down since the pandemic, but it is reopening, which is pretty exciting. So pretty soon you'll be able to stay at the Four Seasons right on 57th Street between Madison Avenue and Park Avenue. And you may even be able to buy a condo there. Go ahead and make a left on Madison and head north into the Upper East Side of Manhattan. On Madison Avenue, you're going to see a lot of shops, boutiques. We're passing the Balenciaga. Valentino's going to be coming up as well. This is a lot of high-end retailing. What's notable to point out, right here on the corner of East 59th Street, the building right next to the Sherry Netherland Hotel is 5 East 59th. Now, this used to be the old Playboy Club in New York. You could Google it. 5 East 59th Street, the old Playboy Club. It went into foreclosure auction and it sold to a jeweler, Ari & Co. So that abandoned building is now going to be a really, really nice jewelry store. And I believe it had about $85 million worth of bad debt on the property. And it sold for about $23 million at foreclosure auction. Our firm, the one I work for, was bidding for that building to turn it into condominiums. If you look at the building, there's 2 retail units, there's 8 office, with the availability to have air rights on top to build 2 additional condo units. So to get a building like that right next to Central Park for 23 million bucks is unbelievable. It's an unbelievable deal. approaching East 60th Street. Look off to your right, this big pole overhanging the street on Madison Avenue. That's the congestion pricing cameras. Now, the governor of New York City, Kathy Hochul, has indefinitely postponed the congestion pricing. So we spent all this money putting up those cameras to charge people to drive in the city, and now we're not even going to do the congestion pricing anymore. They also have cameras on the 59th Street Bridge and Columbus Circle as you head to the Upper West Side on West 60th Street, I should say. As we head further into the Upper East Side, you're going to notice a lot of these pre-war buildings, which are quite nice. It's a nice change from Midtown Manhattan. It's a lot of charm, a lot of character. Keep the sidewalks very clean here. We're passing the Tom Ford store, which is between 61st Street and 62nd. Looks like they're doing a big restoration on that Dolce & Gabbana store just off to the right. Take a slight detour down the side streets. This is headed towards Central Park or 5th Avenue. But the Upper East Side is lined with a lot of these very charming and quaint townhouses, as you can see just off to your right. There's even nicer ones as we head a little bit further up. lot of beautiful restaurants, places to dine outside. Across the street to the other side to show you a little bit more of the restaurants and the dining. It's really nice. Let's hop back on Madison Avenue and continue north. Corner of East 63rd Street and Madison. Wow, look at how beautiful this block is.
You get it?
Even the view from the other side is quite nice, because you have the Hermes, and then in the backdrop you could even see the Steinway Tower and Central Park Tower. This is the corner of East 64th Street in Madison. You have some more stunning buildings here. I like the old colonial style buildings too. This is 726 Madison Avenue. And I'll just give you some perspective of what downtown looks like from where we've walked. East 64th Street in Madison looks quite nice. So let's actually walk down and explore the street. It seems as if many of the facades on this particular block have just underwent restoration. You can kind of tell from the scaffolding, but particularly you could tell from the brightness and the vibrance of the different facades. And there's many different ways and techniques that they use to resurface the facade. Have a look at these. These are beautiful Upper East Side townhomes. Some of them have that bright red brick facade. And it looks like they have a little bit of a solarium on the roof. This is East 64th Street. We're between Madison Avenue and 5th Avenue. right next to the Indian consulate. Of course, just off to our left, you can see that beautiful skyline of Billionaires Row with Central Park Tower and 220 Central Park South. Look at the landscaping. Extremely beautiful. This is really quintessential Upper East Side type of feel. Look at the architecture on the temple here. This is East 65th Street. You can see all the cars coming from the Upper West Side of Manhattan. Just also past the Central Park Zoo. Look at the detail on the doors here. That's unbelievable. These appear to be really, really heavy cast iron doors. That's stunning. This is a Jewish temple, and the architecture is really, really impressive here. I can only imagine what it looks like on the interior. And again, it looks like the facade was cleaned or recently restored, the facade. East 66th Street, if you have a car, you'll be able to cut across the park and head right to the Upper West Side of Manhattan. Right here where all these cars are turning. Let's go ahead and make another right and head back towards Madison Avenue. You'll be able to see a lot of the quaint apartment buildings, co-ops, condos that sit between Madison and 5th. And once again, you'll notice how everything is very meticulously manicured. From the sidewalks to the landscaping by the trees. They really do keep it nice here. This is where the former President Ulysses S. Grant used to live. From 1881 to 1885. That's really unique. I have a museum recommendation. It is the Henry Clay Frick Museum. That's, in my view, the best museum in New York City. Now, the actual house that Henry Clay Frick used to own is currently closed. It's undergoing some much needed renovations, but they've moved all of the exhibits in the, I should say, artifacts to a satellite location about 2.5 blocks north of the actual house that sits on 5th Avenue, right along Central Park. Just off to our right, you have the Bar Italia. We'll quickly check out the outdoor dining setup, because you have a very unique view of 432 Park Avenue as you're dining, inside or outside. You can even see the spire a little bit, I believe, of 270 Park Avenue. That's the new JP Morgan Chase office tower, which is topped out, but it won't be ready for occupancy for about another 9 or 10 months. Really nice. Here's some more of those boutique shops. I really like what they did with the retail. They made it super high ceilings, these floor-to-ceiling glass windows, and then above, it appears you have apartments. It's really nice. And there's actually very high occupancy on the Upper East Side. Very, very high for retail. You have Michael Kors to our left.
Where are you? Where are you? Oh, yeah.
You have a lot of nice facades over here. These are mostly townhouses. Look at how unique this is. You have these tiered fire escapes coming down. On the corner of 69th Street, we'll go ahead and make a right. This is a very unique shot, looking all the way down Madison with that great view of 432 Park. at how beautiful some of the banisters are. Look at that. And this is going to take us back to Park Avenue now, where we will make a left and continue to head uptown. Out of curiosity, let's see how much it is to park on a monthly basis here. They have the signs posted. I think I saw $750, and then if you have a larger vehicle, it's an additional $200. But some people just buy a condominiumized space. So instead of renting your parking space, you're actually able to purchase your own space where you get a deed. So they're individualized condo spaces. And on the Upper East Side, they usually run about $150,000 to about maybe $175,000 for a parking space. If you want a mechanical space, they're usually around maybe $300,000 to $350,000. Okay, this is coming up to 71st Street. We'll make a left on 72nd Street. Now, once you go past 59th Street to the north side, Park Avenue becomes very residential and it becomes very nice. South of 59th Street, that's where you have a lot of those office towers, and it's pretty much Wall Street. Now, not the physical street of Wall Street. I'm talking about where many of the investment banks, hedge funds, family offices are, private equity, broker dealers. A lot of that activity happens between 42nd Street, Grand Central Station, and Park Avenue, all the way up to 59th Street and Park. There's a really interesting building, it's brand new, 425 Park. That is the new headquarters for Citadel Securities until Ken Griffin builds his mega tall tower on Park Avenue to rival 270 Park, which is Jamie Dimon's new tower. All right, so 72nd Street runs east to west. We're now gonna make a left and head a little bit further back towards Central Park. And we'll explore some of the dining options and things like that they have here. They have all these city bikes, but I was reading a study, well, not a study, it was actually data from City Bike that says that over 90% of city bikes throughout New York City never get used. So we've allocated all of this space for these city bikes and pretty much nobody uses them. Wow, look at this. Here you have the main Ralph Lauren store, which has a beautiful facade, lots of outdoor dining space. Obviously, everything is decorated for the Olympics.
That's a men's shop. But I was watching the other movie first with the shop about it.
nice setup for the Olympics. It's the corner of 71st Street and Madison. Let's do one more pass through to see some more of the Olympic stuff. And then we'll go Central Park.
Greek, right? Is it how long mine
I always thought Tommy Hilfiger was the official outfitter of the Olympics. Maybe I'm mistaken. Here's the uniform, I think. And I like how they painted the building too for Team USA colors.
It's this way.
You can pretty much walk the Upper East Side all day and just check out all the different types of architecture. I mean, even look at across the street. Now, many of this stuff is landmarked, which means it's protected. So you can't alter or do any significant alterations to the facade if it's marked a landmarked building. once we walk towards the park, it's like at least 10 degrees cooler than it is on Park Avenue. Great landscaping. Since we have the light, I want to show you inside Central Park a little bit. This is one of the main entrances on East 72nd Street. And what's cool about this is if you just continue to walk all the way west until you can't walk anymore, that's going to bring you right to the Dakota Apartments on 72nd Street in Central Park West. So we could potentially walk from one side of the park to the other by just following this path. And you can see that beautiful Dakota building. That's the building where John Lennon was murdered. And then right outside the building in Central Park is the Strawberry Fields, where it has that Imagine sign printed into the sidewalk. But we're not going to go all the way there. We are going to cross a little bit north and check out the pond.
Uber home.
This is one of my favorite parts of the park. Again, if you're visiting New York City and you want to come here yourself, just go to 72nd Street and 5th Avenue. And right as you go into the park, make that immediate right. And it'll take you to this beautiful pond where oftentimes they're racing small mechanical sailboats.
I don't know this is good. I want to go. But I think that's my time.
Speaking of the sailboats, there they are. right. If you all enjoyed that walking tour of the Upper East Side of Manhattan, please subscribe to the channel for more walking tours. And if you're thinking about moving to New York City, specifically the Upper East Side, and you need some help, feel free to reach out to me at the email address below, and I'd be more than happy to help you and your family find the perfect home right here in New York City. Thanks so much for watching.